Donald Trump wants you distracted from his endless scandals and screw-ups. That's why he staged an Oval Office major announcement that turned out to be nothing more than a cheap stunt to change the headlines. But it backfired because instead of shifting the narrative, it only drew more attention to the one thing he can't cover up: his cognitive decline. You could see it in real time as his handlers panicked while Trump melted down, even throwing in a bizarre racist remark. Before we break down that disaster, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us keep going. Now, let's start where Trump did with his meltdown about DC. And I'm tired of listening to these people say how safe it was before we got here. It was unsafe. It was horrible. And Mayor Bowser better get her act straight, or she won't be mayor. Very long, because we'll take it over with the federal government. Run it like it's supposed to be run. The numbers were horrible. It was a crime-infested rat hole, and they do have a lot of rats. We're getting rid of them too. And we've made a lot of progress, and it was extremely unsafe, and now it's extremely safe. We had virtually no crime. The number was down 87%, and I'm trying to figure out where was the 13% because I don't think it existed. The National Guard has been unbelievable, and they're working with the police, and they have some very good people in there. They have some people that shouldn't be policed, actually, but they have some great people there. Donald Trump keeps recycling the same script claiming crime stats were fake, sending masked ICE agents to intimidate people, all to project fake strength. In truth, it's a test run for his authoritarian takeover of America's cities. And as always, there's a racist edge to it, one that spirals into the very meltdown, exposing his cognitive decline. I want to thank Christy for another reason. I said to her 2 weeks ago, I said, "Christy, do me a favor. I built hundreds of miles of wall. I built the same wall that the Border Patrol asked me to build. It wasn't my first choice. I wanted to do concrete plank and everything nice, but you wouldn't have been able to see through it. So I had Border Patrol in, and they tested everything else, and we gave them steel wall, high-grade steel, very hard to cut, and we gave inside that is 9,000 lb concrete, which is a very tough concrete inside. That is rebar. A big, fat piece of rebar. So you have all different materials that are very hard to cut, and you need different instruments to cut each one." And I said, "We got to get a coat of paint on it," and I didn't know she was listening, but I said we got to get a coat paint and it should be black, because black makes the steel very hot. It's untouchable. You could fry an egg on it. And if you got a good black flat paint, it would look beautiful. It will preserve it from rust. And that was it. And I gave it to her along with 30 other things. And she's done such a good job in the border with Tom Holman and the group. Tom Holman's a fantastic guy. What the job he does and the way they work together. So, I turned on last night and I see Christie's painting the wall. And it looked beautiful, by the way, when that paint went over there. It's hot. It's hot. Donald Trump's presidency has never been about serving the people. It's been about tax cuts for the rich and self-enrichment. Beyond that, his real obsession is redecorating, turning the Rose Garden into concrete, plastering the Oval Office with gaudy gold, even fantasizing about painting walls. He's more focused on lawns and wallpaper than governing, projecting fake strength he doesn't actually have. Honestly, give him a TV decorating show nobody watches and spare the country the chaos. And yet, instead of leadership, we get bizarre rants like the one where Jade Vance sat squirming as Trump rambled about African-American women who supposedly love him. And we haven't had to bring in the regular military, which we're willing to do. We have to. And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe. Also, we're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago is a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out, probably next. That'll be our next one, after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats just like this one. But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies are saying, "Please, President Trump, come to Chicago, please." I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something happen. So I think Chicago will be our next. And then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with, and I think a lot of these people that you see on television, including the people in this audience, they'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, thank God he's here, because half of them got mugged, and they don't want to get mugged again, but they're They work for stupid people that are radical left, and they're made to do things and say things that they don't want to be saying, but the Trump's rant was pure nonsense. And Vance looked like he wanted to disappear. He even skipped a tie just to copy Trump pathetic loyalty at its worst. This is today's Republican Party, obsessed with image, ego, and petty politics. And Trump himself, he only cares about appearances and bragging about his pal Putin. And I was just sent a picture from somebody that wants to be there very badly. He's been very respectful of me and of our country, but not so respectful of others. But I'm gonna sign this for him, but I was sent one and I thought you'd all like to see it. That's a man named Vladimir Putin. I don't know if I should be more terrified or embarrassed. It's humiliating to be an American with Donald Trump as president, the weakest leader I've ever seen. Imagine abandoning an ally just because Putin handed you a photo. Trump is being openly played. And worse, he shows it proudly. Caroline Light can spin all she wants, but world leaders aren't rallying behind Trump. They see him as an imbecile, incapable of delivering anything on the world stage. That's why he overcompensates with bluster, pretending to be strong while exposing just how weak he really is. And I'm not happy about anything having to do with that war. I said I settled N7 wars, and actually if you think about pre-wars, add 3 more, so it would be 10. I thought this would be in the middle of the pack in terms of difficulty. Now I'm not happy about anything about that war. Nothing. Not happy at all. We'll see what happens. I think over the next 2 weeks, we're going to find out which way it's going to go. Trump now claims he's ended 7 wars. Last week it was 6. Before that 5, he just makes it up as he goes. None of it makes sense. And it shows how completely unhinged he's become. His brain is running on gibberish. And it only gets worse from here. Mister, how long will you give Putin a couple of weeks? We're going to figure it out. Do you think you'll have to intervene at some point? Look, it takes 2 to tango. You understand that? I wanted to have a meeting with those 2. I could have been at the meeting, and a lot of people think that nothing's going to come out of that meeting. You have to be there. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But we're going to see. In the meantime, people continue to die. There it is again, 2 weeks away. Trump has been making the same empty promise for years, and MAGA still falls for it. He strings them along, plays them like fools, and they cheer. Anyway, the hypocrisy is staggering but never surprising, especially with his latest attack on John Bolton. Mr. President, I have a question about the search of Ambassador Bolton's home. The Vice President recently just did an interview saying that it's about classified documents, but that there's also broad concern about him. What are the concerns? Well, I haven't spoken to Pam in the group yet, but I will be, I saw that just like everybody else. I try and stay out of that stuff. I'm allowed to be, and I'm chief law enforcement officer, believe it or not. Donald Trump knows how to pick political enemies. He goes after law firms, corporations, universities, not for the people, but to serve himself. And now he's targeting John Bolton. We don't need to qualify it with, of course, Bolton is bad. We all know that. Just call it what it is, a politically motivated attack. Democrats waste time with disclaimers, and it only weakens the message. We need straight talk, cut the filler, speak with clarity. That's the model I'll stick to here. If you agree, hit subscribe, like this video, and drop a blue heart in the comments. Until next time.